We get a lot of inquiries from potential clients who are wondering what to do with the assets inside their holding corporation now that they're retired. They've heard that they should try and wind this down as quickly as possible so that this holding corp isn't around when they pass away because it could cause adverse tax consequences for them. And yeah, that may be true. So we work with successful business families that are looking to sell their business within the next 5 to 10 years, or they have sold their business. And as a successful business owner, they manage to take a bunch of profit from the company, move it into a holding corp, and invest it for the future. And so if you're in that situation and you have, say, a few $1 million inside your holdco, and that's invested into market-based investments, what do you do with that? Do you try and wind it down as quickly as possible, or do you try and drip it out over a period of time? Well, it really depends on your situation, but more often than not, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it out over a period of time. And we want to try and maximize the income while minimizing the amount of tax you pay. Because when you retire, you're going to have a bunch of different pools that you're going to draw from. You're going to have non-registered money, perhaps some money inside a trust, inside a holding corp, RRSPs, tax-free savings accounts, and maybe even Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security. So all of these are different pools that you're going to want to turn on and off at different times, depending upon your need for income and depending upon your marginal tax rates. And so that's what we do as advisors. We work with you to make sure that we can minimize the amount of tax you pay, both now as well as on death, while maximizing your income. Because if we can minimize the amount of tax you pay today and maximize your income, you're either going to be able to spend more or leave more behind for someone that you care about. And so we're not big fans of taking all the money out of your holdco and try and wind it down before you pass away. That may be an effective strategy. We'd have to run the numbers and have a look at it. But what we find more often than not, especially with big pools of money inside holdcos, is you just want to drip it out over a period of time and be strategic about it. Make sure that you got a keen eye on it and that you're following it, making sure that you're making the right withdrawals from it at the right time to minimize your tax. Now, if you have buildings inside there, so maybe you have a commercial bay or a commercial building that you use inside your operating company, or a residential rental property, right? Maybe that's rented out and you're going to be getting income from that as well. And you want to perhaps pass that down to your children when you pass. Maybe that's your goal. Or perhaps maybe you want to sell it out and use the income for your retirement. So depending on what you want to do there will depend on our answer. But if you want to pass it down to your children, there are some effective strategies that you can use to do that. So this is where a family trust would come into play. So you would take a look at having the trust own that corporation that owns the building. And through that, that's a very effective way to be able to get that down to your kids in a tax effective manner. So the tax isn't paid on that property until your kids ultimately dispose of it. Obviously, that's more complex planning. There's a few more nuances there, but just to simplify it, just kind of keep it simple. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you have and you want to connect with us to learn more about us, to see if we can help you, visit us at 360wealth.ca. Send us a note, give us a call. We'd be happy to set up a time to talk with you further about your planning situation, to share with you what we do and how we do it, and see if there's a right fit. All right, you take care. Thanks. Bye.